Welcome to this conversation. The initial phases of NFL free agency have come and gone, and we've also moved past the NFL draft, but the offseason continues to be a crucial time. We have until August before we see football played again. In this discussion, I will explore 4 strategies that the Patriots might consider to develop an optimal off-season plan. Before we dive into that, it's worth mentioning that there's a subscriber competition with a rival team in the AFC East. They currently lead with 37 new subscribers compared to our 59 this May. It's still early, just in the first 10 days of the month, but it's important not to lag behind, whether on the field or in subscriber growth. Before discussing potential strategies, we must recognize some pressing needs that the Patriots should address. Firstly, enhancing the interior offensive line is crucial, and bringing in a guard would be wise. If Will Campbell does not meet expectations at left tackle, where he was drafted as the 4th overall pick, moving him to guard might be beneficial. However, it's still vital to have a veteran presence on the line. Furthermore, the need for a nickel cornerback is on the agenda. There will be a conversation about Marcus Jones later, as he's entering a contract year, and building depth in this position would be prudent. The team has an impressive duo of cornerbacks, and the demand for edge rushers is always high. They selected Braden Swinson in the later rounds. Although he may not start, there remains one standout player still available in free agency. So let's get started. And at the top of the list, which represents the most pressing need, is a free agent guard. Now, let's take a look at the updated offensive line depth chart. In this version, Will Campbell is positioned at left tackle, joined by Cole Strange, who has recently been let go, while Garrett Bradbury assumes the role of the new center alongside Mike Wenyu and Morgan Moses. There is also a solid veteran presence on the bench, yet many options remain open in free agency for the offensive line that can be targeted. One potential candidate rises to the top as the most favorable option, and that would be Brandon Sheriff, who offers invaluable veteran leadership. When evaluating Michael Wenu's performance over the past seasons, especially considering his Pro Football Focus ratings from last year, we can conclude that it was a mediocre year. However, his rating for 2024 dropped to 65, which raises concerns. In terms of pass blocking, his score was 71, while his run blocking results were unsatisfactory, allowing 2 sacks and accumulating 5 penalties. There is a possibility that he improves by 2025, but it is crucial to have an alternative plan in place. Among other available free agent guards, the possibility of re-signing Shaw Mason is uncertain, but my preference remains Brandon Sheriff. There are other players like Nick Harris, Will Hernandez, and Liam Eichenberg still available on the market, but Sheriff stands out as my top choice. His Pro Football Focus ratings are similar to Wenu's, with an overall score of 64.7 and a solid pass blocking evaluation. With the expected approach for 2025, considering Drake May as the quarterback, there will be a greater emphasis on the passing game, making it essential to have someone who can effectively protect the quarterback. One considerable advantage for the player is that he did not allow a sack, in contrast to another player who recorded 2 and only committed 2 penalties. Despite being in the early stages of his 3rd decade, he would likely be the most beneficial addition to the team if they decide to pursue a free agent this year. Looking at his projected contract, it is estimated to be a favorable 1-year deal worth $6 million. Securing such an affordable contract for an experienced player who can lead the team and help a teammate regain their previous form would be a wise decision. The contract projection also suggests that it would be a good deal. 1 year and $6 million is the estimate from an expert in the field. Securing an affordable contract to bring in a veteran player who can serve as a leader and help a teammate return to the ideal level would represent an excellent opportunity for the franchise. I see no problem in adding more depth to the offensive line. Moving on to the next position, we have the nickel cornerback, and it is surprising that this player has not yet been signed. One name that stands out is a player from the new generation who may remind you of his father, who played the quarterback position in the past. Yes, there are 2 players who stand out as their top options. I'm not sure if another player will secure a roster spot as the last pick, but the chance for a nickel cornerback presents an intriguing scenario. He is currently under contract, although health issues have always been a concern. However, this player's situation is particularly confusing as he still does not have a contract. It's hard to ignore that the 2024 season wasn't favorable to him. But in 2023, this player was among the best corners, particularly excelling in man-to-man coverage. Regarding zone coverage, he recorded 9 pass defenses and allowed only 12 receptions during the season, with a quarterback rating against him of 61.3. That is undoubtedly impressive, considering the uncertainty surrounding the health and availability of another player, which has been a constant issue. The nickel cornerback position has been a weak point on the defense. Adding a player of this level would also mean securing a valuable contract. Players who wait until May, June, or July to be signed generally do not demand high values. The team currently has about $65 million in salary cap space. I've checked that amount, as it seems like a considerable sum. Therefore, there is plenty of financial flexibility to pursue a player like the one mentioned, without fear that he might compete for prominent positions, as he would occupy the nickel cornerback role. That's the reality of the situation. You have all the financial resources needed to acquire a player like Asante Samuel Jr., and you don't have to worry about him trying to take the position of Christian Gonzalez or Carlton Davis, as he would be positioned as a nickel cornerback. However, this raises a question that I reflected on while analyzing the situation. If you opt to sign Asante Samuel, would you consider trading or renewing Marcus Jones's contract? He had a solid performance in 2024 with 58 tackles, 1 interception, and 10 pass defenses. His on-field presence is consistent in terms of health. However, I've mentioned this several times. He's about to enter the final year of his contract, and it's important to consider his injury tendency, given his history. Would you be willing to take that risk now and renew him, possibly with a 3-year contract worth $23 million, or would you prefer the alternative of not signing him, leaving the option to release him after the season if he underperforms or gets injured again? On the other hand, if he has a stellar season and performs at his best, his value could rise to $35 million. So that's something to consider. Would you renew his contract or explore the possibility of a trade? Personally, I don't think there's much interest in the market for a return specialist in this trade context. So you could choose to extend his contract or accept the risk. In my opinion, if you value Marcus Jones's potential, which I believe the team does, due to his versatility on the field, especially as a return specialist, I would definitely opt for the extension. A 3-year, $20 million contract seems reasonable to me. If it doesn't work out, you'll have the resources to work around it. On the other hand, if you decide to wait until next season and he excels, the likelihood of having to pay him will increase. And I'm not inclined to pay a lot for quarterbacks. Experience has already shown us this. You didn't want to invest in Stephon Gilmore, hesitated to pay Talib, and were reluctant to offer a good contract to Darrell Revis. So these are my thoughts. Now let's address the wide receiver situation. Should you trade Kendrick Bourne or Kahan Booty? I am leaning towards trading Kendrick Bourne. This is because the team currently has 9 receivers on the roster, while most teams start the regular season with 5 or 6. With 9, it's too much. It's necessary to seek something in return for Kendrick Bourne or Booty, considering our receiving group, which includes Stephon Diggs returning from an ACL injury. You drafted Kyle Williams, who will probably be your number 2 or number 3, alongside M. Collins. Matt Hollings was signed, and it's unlikely you'll get rid of him. Pop Douglas had an exceptional year and is a highly valued player. We also have Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. Although they had a disappointing 2024 season, that's understandable in their second year. It's not wise to cut a player right after a bad season, especially a rookie season. Therefore, between Kendrick Bourne or Kahan Booty, I would choose Kendrick Bourne, as he's 29 years old. His performance in 2024 wasn't great, and you could probably find someone in that age range who could still contribute as a solid depth option in a trade. I don't think there's interest in negotiating Kahan Booty after recent moves. So I researched and created a trade proposal. the team could receive a 2026 fourth-round pick for Kendrick Bourne and Jalen Hawkins, considering the selection of a standout safety, Woodson. This way, you could get rid of Jalen Hawkins and still secure a good fourth-round pick in 2026. The question is, would you make this trade? You get rid of Kendrick Bourne and receive a fourth-round pick. So what do you think? Share your opinions. Now, moving on to the theme, but I need to mention that as usual, you can acquire the jerseys of the player mentioned. He's not wearing one at the moment, but we already know what number he will wear. It will be number 66. I believe that 66 on a left tackle creates a strong presence on the field. In the comments section, let's continue this conversation. It's important to highlight that we've maintained a consistent approach. Although the player mentioned isn't wearing his jersey at the moment, it's possible to get it. We have confirmed information that the number he'll wear is 68. I have a special connection with this number, especially on an offensive lineman, as it conveys a strong presence. So, for those who want to buy the jersey, the details are in the description of this video. Support the show and the team. Now, regarding the topic at hand, acquiring an athlete for the edge position. I imagine many of you may be thinking that a signing and draft have already happened. However, it's crucial to have more options after the selected player's arrival, which was a late draft pick. Although he has the typical potential of a second or third rounder, he won't start right away. He won't start as a starter at the beginning of the 2025 season, so I'm in favor of signing a veteran. I believe that in two positions, you should never underestimate depth, on the offensive line and the edge position. The player that comes to mind, and whom we've talked about before, is a player who has been selected to the Pro Bowl 3 times and will turn 33 in September. He brings valuable leadership to the team, and I really believe he can improve the defense. He still has much to offer. At 33, if he can maintain his technique and ability to pressure the quarterback, I wouldn't hesitate to sign him. In 2024, he recorded 9 sacks. He is definitely someone I still consider available. Additionally, it's worth noting that the team has more than $65 million available in cap space. It's not necessary to offer an exorbitant contract. A 1-year deal would be sufficient. I wouldn't view him at 34, but I would definitely consider him at 33, providing a solid depth option at the edge position, especially after the team finished last in sacks in the 2024 season. Therefore, my focus is on signing edge players this season. What do you believe is the team's biggest need this offseason? Would it be trading for a wide receiver? Recently, a player was released, and that could be an option for the team, considering a trade. Are you looking for an offensive lineman or an edge player? Share your thoughts in the comments below the video today about what you believe is the team's primary need this offseason. Today's conversation comes to an end, but you can continue following along on social media. And remember to subscribe. Let's direct our attention to the next analysis, folks. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A surprising whisper has begun to circle through the corridors of Gillette Stadium, suggesting that Drake May, the Patriots' prized second-year quarterback, might be navigating a rough patch both on and off the field. While the team's brass remains tight-lipped, insiders hint at a combination of mounting pressure, locker room tensions, and a personal struggle that could be clouding May's bright rookie season. According to sources close to the organization, May has appeared more withdrawn in recent weeks, often arriving early at meetings only to slip out before team dinners. Teammates describe him as uncharacteristically pensive, and although he continues to lead practice sessions with professionalism, those around him worry that the once confident signal caller is wrestling with doubts. Drake's work ethic is undeniable, one assistant coach confided. But there's something else happening, something we're trying to handle internally. On the field, May's statistics remain respectable, yet his decision-making under duress has occasionally faltered. In last Sunday's narrow loss to the Browns, observers noted an uncharacteristic delay in his reads, resulting in missed opportunities and a late-game interception. While head coach Jared Mayo publicly praised May's resilience, insiders believe the quarterback's hesitation was more than just a byproduct of a robust Cleveland pass rush. Meanwhile, Off-field rumors suggest that May be dealing with personal matters weighing heavily on his mind. Though details are scarce, friends say he has been spending more time away from the team's facilities, seeking solitude rather than camaraderie. The Patriots front office, intent on preserving team unity, has reportedly enlisted veteran mentors to offer May guidance, both professional and personal, as the Patriots prepare for a crucial midseason clash against the division-leading Bills. All eyes will be on May's composure under the brightest lights. Should the whispers prove true, the team's handling of his delicate situation could define not only the rookie quarterback's future, but also the Patriots' title aspirations in a fiercely competitive AFC East. For now, the rumor mill churns on, and fans can only hope that May overcomes these alleged struggles, rediscovering the poise that made him the Patriots' cornerstone heading into this campaign. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.